Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving straight into a literal game changer that's shaking up the entire global tech landscape, and that is Kimi K3. We're talking about an open-source AI model that is rapidly upending everything we thought we knew about the balance of power in artificial intelligence. We're going to break down exactly what this is, how it actually performs in real-world coding tests, and what this all means for the wider tech industry.
Let's kick things off with this quote from AI educator Albert Allgaard. China is beginning to engage in what I'll call AI dumping. Now, we're not here to take any political sides, but rather to look objectively at the macroeconomic reality that this highlights. We are seeing a massive influx of incredibly cheap yet highly capable open-weight models flooding into the US market. The strategic landscape is shifting under our feet, and to understand why, we really need to look at the sheer scale of the tech involved here.
3 trillion. Let that sink in for a second. Kimi K3 is an almost 3 trillion parameter model. To put that into perspective, this makes it by far the largest open-source model ever created. For a little context, the previous heavy hitter in this space, DeepSeek, sits at about 1.6 trillion parameters. So Kimi K3 is nearly double that size. This isn't just some slight incremental update. It's an absolute leap forward for open-source capabilities.
Okay, let's look at our agenda for today. 1. The new AI challenger. 2. Setting up Kimi K3. 3. The AI pricing battle. 4. Coding test Pac-Man replica. 5. Coding test dental website. And 6. Disrupting frontier AI labs.
Starting with Section 1, the new AI challenger, benchmarking the 3 trillion parameter giant.
You guys, the data here is absolutely wild to uncover. Despite being totally open source, Kimi K3's benchmark scores are matching and in some cases outright beating the top-tier closed models. Our source points out that it scores right up there with absolute heavyweights like GPT 5.6 and Fable 5. Actually, on specific coding evaluations like Bench, Kimi K3 ranks higher than both of them. It's a staggering achievement that completely flips the script on what we expect from open source.
Moving on to Section 2, setting up Kimi K3, moving from theory to practice in Visual Studio Code.
Now, you might be thinking this takes a systems architect to get running. Actually, no. Replicating Albert Allgaard's setup in Visual Studio Code is incredibly fast. It's just a 4-step process. First, you search for Kimi code online and paste the provided code into your VS Code terminal. Second, restart that terminal. Third, type Kimi, hit Enter, and type the command /login. And finally, that opens your browser where you quickly authenticate. Boom, you're in.
But wait, there is one absolutely critical step you cannot miss. Once you're in, the default system might have you on the older Kimi 2.7 model. You have to type the command /model to switch it over to Kimi K3. If you want to harness that 3 trillion parameter giant we were just talking about, for sure do not skip this step.
Let's move to Section 3, the AI pricing battle, comparing the costs of next-gen models.
So let's talk money. Because for everyday users, the consumer pricing divide is stark. Kimi K3 comes in at a starting price of just $15 a month, with really generous usage limits. On the flip side, competitors like Claude Pro and Codex are charging $20 a month. And there's a catch there. With Claude, especially if you're trying to use their top-tier Fable model, you hit severe rate limits almost instantly. In fact, getting proper access to Fable is shifting to a max plan that costs a whopping $100 a month. So for users wanting premium performance without the heavy restrictions, Kimi is offering a vastly cheaper entry point.
But the real battlefield, that's on the enterprise side, via the API. If you are building software using Fable 5, you're paying $10 per million input tokens and $50 per million output tokens. Kimi 3? Try $3 for input and $15 for output. That is less than 1/3 of the API cost of the premium closed models. It doesn't take a math genius to see the massive economic pressure this puts on businesses to switch.
All right, Section 4, coding test, Pac-Man replica. Time for some head-to-head game development.
We wanted to see practical testing, so the prompt here was rigorous. We aren't talking about a simple snake game. The models were instructed to build a perfect one-to-one visual replica of Pac-Man. It needed all the standard gameplay features, proper styling and UI, and get this, fully working sound effects. So how did they hold up? The results are frankly astonishing. Impartially reporting the data here, Kimi K3 just nailed it. It delivered a smooth, perfect replica with working sound and precise mechanics. Claude also did a very impressive job, giving us a fully functional game, though it was on a slightly smaller visual scale. But Codex shockingly stumbled hard.
The frame rate was terrible, the game lagged, the player character literally clipped right through the walls, and it even added a random insert coin text that the user never even asked for. Safe to say, Kimi took the crown this round.
Section 5. Coding Test, Dental Website. Let's look at front-end web design capabilities.
Once again, the constraints were specific. This time, the challenge was building a highly requested business use case, a dental website. It had to be built in Next.js and Tailwind CSS. It needed a clean design with smooth scroll animations, a high-converting form at the bottom, and a distinctly futuristic, modern aesthetic.
Comparing the top two side by side, we see totally different design philosophies. Claude built a solid site with great conversion features, like a top action bar and a dark mode toggle, but it ended up feeling a bit cluttered by trying to list too many services all at once. Kimi K3, on the other hand, gave us this incredibly clean, minimalistic site with gorgeous scroll animations. The source actually estimated Kimi's output was a professional, ready-to-sell website worth $500 to $1,000, generated in mere minutes. For freelancers and agencies, that is a total game changer. Oh, and as a quick aside, Codex produced a site that was just okay, but suffered from awkwardly small text. So once again, Kimi proved its immense value.
Which brings us to Section 6, Disrupting Frontier AI Labs and the Macroeconomic Fallout.
We are currently seeing a massive, skyrocketing migration. U.S. corporate usage is rapidly switching from domestic providers to Chinese open-weight models like Kimi, DeepSeek, and GLM. And the reason isn't political at all, it's purely practical. When you have performance parity at less than 1/3 of the cost, businesses are inevitably going to make the financially optimal choice. It's just business.
$122 billion. That is the jaw-dropping amount of money raised by OpenAI in March alone. These closed-source frontier labs are raising and spending truly unprecedented sums of capital to train the next generation of AI. Here's the thing, the entire business model of the U.S. frontier labs relies on being the absolute undisputed best. They aren't turning massive profits today, they're heavily investing in the future. But to justify those billions in investments and their premium API pricing, they literally have to maintain a significant quality gap over the competition. If an open source model that anyone can access and use for a fraction of the cost is just as good, well, that economic moat completely evaporates. So, we're left with this massive, burning question. What actually happens to closed frontier models when open source costs a fraction of the price? The economic friction in the AI market right now is very real, and the traditional premium pricing model is officially under threat. It's a massive win for everyday developers, but a serious wake-up call for the established giants. Thank you so much.